71-72 season. Roma, Wolfsburg, Leverkusen and Basel have all gone through. At Old Trafford, Manchester United thrashed Bruges 5-0 earlier tonight. Another goal from the spot from Bruno Fernandes. Igalo got his first one for the club in that one, and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's side are in the draw tomorrow. A bad night for Celtic. They lost 3-1 to Copenhagen. Edouard's late penalty gave them hope of extra time in that one, but then they conceded 2 late goals and have gone out 4-2 on aggregate. Arsenal not the only big side out tonight as well. Ajax have gone out to Getafe. Inter are through. They beat Ludogorets 4-1 on aggregate. Lukaku getting his 23rd of the season in that one. Well, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang here went from hero in extra time to devastation in just a few moments. We can hear from the Arsenal captain now talking to Reshman Chowdhury.
But I can see how devastated you are. How do you even sum up those last crazy few moments where you almost had it?
Yeah, very, very disappointed. What can I say? It's very, very hard, very tough. Was a tough game again, and I think we missed to put some pace in the game. That cost us a little bit today, and the last minute goal was unlucky for us, and that's it.
Your goal was, it was definitely one to show the grandchildren, but the one that you missed, every day of the week you score that. What was going through your mind when it missed?
Yeah, I don't even know. I feel very, very bad, and but that can happen, and I don't know how I missed this chance. I was tired, and I had some cramps as well, but it's not an excuse. I have to score this goal, but can happen.
Yeah, of course, that was in the final few minutes. Why do you think it was so difficult up until that point to find that goal? There seemed to be sort of disconnection in that final third in the box.
Yeah, but I think it was tough because they play very deep, and it was hard to find the solutions in the final third. So as I said, it was really a tough game and tough to find some spaces.
Where does it leave your Champions League hopes for next season now, do you think?
We try to keep improving in the league, and we try to win as many games as possible, and we'll see how many chances we have to qualify.
Thank you so much for talking to us, Oba. Thank you.
Well, he is hurting. That miss at the end of that game, John, that's going to live long in his memory. It'll take him a while to get over that.
Oh, what do you want? Certainly won't be getting a lot of sleep tonight. That'll be on his mind for a long time, but he's such a great player. He is capable of turning up at the weekend and banging in a hat-trick. He's a goal scorer, and it's incredible how a player of that. And it's just, he says there he had cramps, he was tired, and listen, he's a fabulous player. He's a great goal scorer. He's just snatched at it. He's rushed. And you can see there, the disappointment in his face. He's gone down to his knees. He's devastated that he's missed such a simple chance for a player that he's normally scored that with his eyes shut.
Well, he's the reason Arsenal aren't in a worse position this season, Martin.
Oh, without doubt. If you look at the senior players, he's the one player that has turned up. A lot of the plus points have been Martinelli and Saka, but Aubameyang, you can see how much he loves the club there. It really hurts him. He could have been the hero. Instead, he's the fall guy there at the end. But I don't think he's someone who's got a big personality, and he's going to have to bounce back, because there's still things to play for Arsenal this season, but it's about licking their wounds now and moving on from tonight. It's been a hugely disappointing evening. Yeah,
Mikel Arteta has to try and pick him up now, and the rest of the players going in towards the end of the season. We can hear from the Arsenal manager now with Reshman.
Mikel, I know you must be hurting. How do you reflect on this exit from Europe after a crazy sort of final few moments, but a game which you began with an advantage?
Yes, it hurts a lot. We had a lot of intentions in this competition. It was very important for us. And emotionally, it's been a very difficult game. We were in complete control. Again, we conceded a set piece, and it put the tie in a difficult position. we tried and tried and tried, and we throw everything at them. They defended really deep. We generated a lot of chances, and at the end we managed to make the most difficult thing, which was to score the goal. And we were through, and we put ourselves in trouble at the back. We conceded another corner, and it's another set piece. You concede 4 goals on set pieces in 2 games at home. It makes the tie really, really difficult.
Why do you think it was so hard to find a way to score? It looked as though the players just weren't on the same page in terms of, finding that final ball. They would make the opportunity, but they just couldn't connect in the box.
Because to attack against 10 players in 20-25 meters is a very difficult thing against a team that is well organized, and you have to be patient, But I think we created enough chances to win the game comfortably. It didn't happen, and obviously at the end, the last 5 minutes, we have to manage the game much better and again, defend the set pieces as it was the only way, and a counter-attack that they were going to score a goal, and we are out.
Do you think the players started a little bit slowly? Perhaps was there a little bit of complacency going into this game?
No, I don't think so. I don't think. They knew that it was going to be a difficult game. Obviously, when you are 1-0 winning from the away game, in your mind you have to play and process that game as well. But I think we're getting better and better and better when the minutes were going by. And I don't know. I think it's cruel.
What is the biggest lesson you will all take from this tie now?
That details are so important in this competition, and the boxes decided whether you are through or not. And we gave away 2 set pieces goals in a game at home, and if you do that, obviously, it's very difficult.
Where does this leave your hopes for Champions League qualifications now?
Well, it's a massive disappointment, but at the same time, I'm very proud of the players. I think the effort that they put in tonight, it's been incredible how patient they are. And it would have been an incredible lift. It would have managed to win the game and go through the tie. We need to swallow that. Now we have to react as a team. They have my backing completely for the way they have played, but it's painful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mikel Arteta hugely frustrated with his side conceding 2 goals tonight from set pieces again for the second straight game. You felt they created enough to win it tonight, John, but they didn't have their first shot on target this evening until the 76th minute.
Yeah, I just don't think... I think the players are devastated. I say devastated. You shouldn't use that word when it comes to football, really. I think extremely disappointed with the whole result, the outcome. And he's almost... he doesn't want to throw his players under the bus, if you like. He says the effort was good, the endeavour was there, but just the way it turned out. And he blamed set pieces. He mentioned set pieces against conceding. You can't win nothing if you don't concede, if you don't defend properly from set pieces. You've got to take responsibility as players.
He knows where the problems are. He said, didn't he, that they were in control, but they were never really comfortable. He was arguing that it wasn't a slow start. I thought it was. And if you're going to lose a game against Olympiacos, I think it's they've lost 10 of their last 11 European fixtures away from home. And if Arsenal are thinking about going to the Champions League, we'd get mauled by the top teams. Arsenal is just not good enough now to be at that level. We looked at the likes of Real Madrid and Man City last night. We're an awful long way behind those teams. We've got to get the basics right first. We cannot defend from set pieces. Everybody's going to know now at the weekend, Portsmouth coming up in the FA Cup, put the corners in and you might score against Arsenal. You can't have that sort of handicap. There's weaknesses there that need to be put right, and that will have to be done, I'm afraid, with personnel changes. There'll have to be players.
I said at half-time, Olympiacos will be delighted at 1-0 because they'll feel Arsenal will give us a chance. They'll gift us a goal, and in the end, they did gift them a goal. It was a free header from Cisse for the equaliser, and then the defending is poor for Olympiacos is winning goal. Before
he can make those personnel changes, though, he's got to focus on what can be salvaged from the rest of the season. It's Portsmouth on Monday in the FA Cup on BT Sport, and then in the league it is quite a favourable run of fixtures they've got coming up. They've got West Ham, Brighton, Southampton and Norwich. What chance do you think they have of finishing in the Champions League? Bearing in mind 5th could be enough this season.
You say that, you look at Brighton and West Ham there, you mentioned they're in a relegation dogfight themselves, so they won't be easy games. I think what Arsenal have to do now is quickly get over the disappointment of tonight, going out to the Europa League, and then they've got to get on some sort of run.
Well, Arteta has said there, didn't he, the psychological fallout from that sort of result tonight is hugely impacting on the group. And he needs his senior players now to step up. The youngsters will just play well in any circumstances. But this is a big moment for him. And he's a rookie manager himself. You know, he's been a good coach. How good a manager is he? He's going to ask himself a lot of questions. It's a case of looking in the mirror for the whole group and trying to bounce back for the FA Cup on Monday.
Champions League, yes or no, before we go?
I don't think they'll be able to do it. Personally, I don't think that it's there for them. I think you look at what's in front of them, Sheffield United, Wolves, I know maybe you could say they could drop in form, but I've seen no sign of that so far. And Chelsea and Tottenham look favourites, and Manchester United, of course, to get there before Arsenal do.
Thank you very much, Mark. And is this tonight?
Well, look, we're going to pick through the bones for how this is for the manager, but there was a game that Arsenal, it was there for the taking. You know, they were complacent in their performance. Is it the attitude? Is it the quality of the players? It was so disappointing. You know, changes isn't from the manager. It's the first time I felt tonight that the players weren't necessarily responding to the manager, and the manager didn't have the answers. It was very static. Lacazette was almost a passenger. Martinelli came on and did exceptionally well. Why wasn't he on earlier in the match? And they left it too late almost. And then the sucker punch. And all credit to Olympiacos for being able to do that, but Leno was taking liberties in the final stages of the game. Then they score, of course, from the second phase of another corner. There's so many disappointments in that Arsenal team, and I just feel it's unprofessional performance. And Arteta will be looking at it now, thinking, where does he go from here? Because it's going to be an uphill battle to make it now into the Champions League. Just in the Premier League, he has the FA Cup as well, of course, but hugely disappointing evening for Arsenal tonight.
And such a huge moment, John, at the end of that game. After scoring such an impressive goal, Aubameyang with the chance to send Arsenal through to the last 16. He missed an absolute sitter. So unlike him, did you think it was going in?
Well, yeah, I think we all did. I think everybody in the ground did. And if he wanted to fall to any player in the Arsenal team, you would pick Aubameyang. He's full of confidence. He's just scored a scissor kick, a wonder goal, and he's just snatched at it. He's rushed it. He's so normally very cool. He's got time there to slow it down and pick his corner, and he basically just, as I said, he just snatches at it. And look at him there. He's absolutely cannot believe he's missed that chance.
Of all the people you'd want it to fall to, Martin, with the season he's having, it's him.
No, and it would have been the perfect way almost to have won it like that, and they could have built upon it, but they didn't, of course. And then it really hurts the football club and the fans, and a lot of anger around us at the end of that football match. A lot of supporters really showing their anger. There's going to be quite a fallout for this, because Arteta's a young manager, very inexperienced, with a new set of staff, and he's got to now build this club back up again.
The thing is as well, Martin, you can't start games at any level as slow as Arsenal started. We pointed out at half-time the sloppiness. They never passed it quick enough, giving the ball away, giving possession back to Olympiacos easily, giving them encouragement all night. That's what we did with Arsenal this season. We gave Olympiacos encouragement by giving the ball back. We never made them work for them to get position. Arsenal basically just kept giving the ball away, and it's not a switch. You can't just switch it on when you start as badly as Arsenal did tonight.
They came into it in good form, Martin. Lots of improvements in the performances. Do you think a lot of that anger came from the performance, or do you think most of it stems from the fact that they'll feel that was their best chance of getting into the Champions League?
Well, if we break down the performance, you can look at almost every single player and say they could have done more tonight. I mean, Pepe at times, his decision-making, is he going to shoot? Is he going to cross? Is he going to release the ball? That element of his game is going to have to improve massively, and I felt that it was almost obvious that Martinelli had to come on. We were that close to Arteta that I was tempted to go over and say, put Martinelli on. It was that sort of situation. You have to show respect. Of course, you can't go and do that. But you know, again, Tobias in midfield, sloppy with his passing. Xhaka at times, you know, taking the easy way out. But Bellerin at right back, you know, he should have been taken off much sooner. He didn't seem comfortable tonight, didn't want to go forward in the same way that he has in the past. So there were lots of players not really performing at their best, and it was about making decisions from the sideline to make those changes. Arsenal had the ability to win this game tonight and didn't take it.
Yeah, it was a stunning goal from Aubameyang. Let's look at the goal they conceded, though, after that, first of all, John. It was another one from a set piece, which is a real problem area for them this season.
Well, look at Leno there. He's just got to take a touch. He's got, I think it's David Luiz to his right. If he opens his body out, he just plays his square to David Luiz. So that is the first mistake from Arsenal. Then they take the corner, and actually they just don't pick up the second phase when it comes back in. They defend this corner really well, as we're about to see. They defend this corner really well. They get ahead there. They should all be coming out, which they're doing right. Then it comes back in. He gets himself onside, and what I think David Luiz is to blame here. You can clearly see that he's got to head that ball. He almost ducks out of it, and then Leno is then surprised at Aribi's reaction to score the goal. But David Luiz, for me, Martin, he's got to head that away.
Yeah, but you see,
he ducks.
What happens is you clear the ball, you come out, and then you pick up, and you look around you, and you take responsibility. They're hoping that someone's going to get in the way of that, and it's really poor, and that's where they've been let down. Sometimes the structure and the basics for Arsenal aren't there, and it cost them when they needed it most.
Martin, he's a centre-back, all right? He's a centre-half. He's in his own 6-yard box, and he almost ignores the ball. The decision is wrong. The decision is wrong. He's got a chance to head that back out for another corner, and he almost pulls away. And then it's coming at Leno then quickly. Leno's at that, not sure that it could come, stick or stay.
Well, we know that David Luiz is not an instinctive defender, is he? He
but
wants,
he's got
he wants to pass the ball.
There's 5 seconds left in the game.
Correct.
He's got to head it away.
But Leno there is almost too calm as well. He starts that problem. We know how poor Arsenal are from set pieces. There's only Villa and Chelsea worse than them who conceded more goals this season. So they have to be better. They try to avoid that. But Leno gives the corner away. And from that moment on, you just felt, and they sensed, there's an opportunity for us to score. And boy, did they put one away there.
And it's a problem all season, isn't it, conceding from set pieces? Only Aston Villa and Chelsea in all competitions have conceded more from dead ball situations than Arsenal. As much as we know it's a work in progress under Arteta, that is really an area they have to improve.
Arteta can't do much about that. When he puts in players on the pitch, it's about personnel and players doing their jobs, taking responsibility and going to head the ball, not leaving it for the goalkeeper or leaving it for the next man. If you feel you can head that ball, go and head it. You know, and for me, it's taking, you know, it's a personal thing. Arteta can't do that. He believes his back four are good enough to go and take the orders on the pitch. But if you're not taking responsibility and defending properly as a centre back, then the team is going to struggle.
The quality of player, doesn't it? You know, Arteta's tried to work with them. You know, but that situation there, you're waiting for that ball to come